What is up, everybody? Today we are doing a hero ranking. We are our hero ranking Magic's hero pack cards. Just for fun, I like to order them from like pretty much most fun, powerful to least. And at the end, we give her an overall ranking. I noticed my last few rankings, I've been kind of on the higher side of things, so I've kind of started to really dig deeper into each of the cards and actually giving them more criticism. That way they're not always high up. I think the last 3 or 4 heroes have been close to 8 or 5. So I did my best to rank these as best I could, but to each their own, I guess. So obviously we always start with the hero card, which is going up into the 4. Here it is. Magik is a 1/2/2. It's total 5. That's alright. Not horrible. Not the worst either. Is Mystic X-Men. Play with the top card of your deck face up. Once per phase, you may play the top card of your deck as if it was in your hand, reducing its resource cost by 1. I kind of wish they called this an ability, or gave it a name. But regardless, it's like playing with an extra extra card in your hand. You got 5, there's a 6 card there. I mean, you can only play that if you want to play it, but it's still an option, which is really good. Hand size 5, hit points 10. 10, yeah, good. Better than 9? Yeah, decent. That's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Let's move on to her alter ego. Her alter ego I gave a 3. 3 recovery, that's average. Mutant Mystic. Interrupt. When you change to hero forms, choose a spell in your discard pile. Put it on top of your deck. Limit once per phase. So if you're not playing anything in alter ego and you flip, you have a lot of spell cards you can play if you've ran through your deck quite a bit, and put it on top and then play it using her ability here, which is very good, especially with the later cards we'll talk into, like Exorcism, Soul Strike, or Magic Barrier if needed. So that's why it's a 3, because her ability can really shape up what you're going to do next or on your next turn. Moving on to Limbo. No, not Limbo. Colossus. Skipped one. Colossus I put as a 4. He's 3 cost ally for a 2/2/3. X-Men. He comes in with toughness. Interrupt. When an enemy attacks you, play Colossus from your hand, paying his resource cost, and declare him the defender without exhausting him. He's a wild resource. And I put him as a 4 just because of this ability. Otherwise, he was probably just going to be a 3. His ability, not ability, yeah, I guess his interrupt is really good. So if you're about to get hit with something and you don't have anything else to play on your turn, you can pretty much drop down Colossus, or if he's on the top of your deck, you can pay 2 to put him out there and take it without exhausting him, which is great. So you can use him on your next turn. Moving on to Limbo. Limbo is going to be a 2 for me. Well, 2 for me. Why did I put a 5? Okay. It's going to be a 2. 1 cost support. It's a dimension. Response after the villain begins. Exhaust Limbo. Swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. Action exhaust Limbo. Swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck. Oh, hi, puppy. Are you outside? Oh, hello. We got a little visitor. We got the puppers. Are you outside? All right. So I made this a 2 because I only used it in 2 out of my 4 games in my Digging Deep episode. Please go check that out. So you can pretty much, manipulate the hand you have, and also with being able to play the top card of your deck basically on the villain phase and make it cheaper. You can swap out what is a Magic Barrier, for instance, to the top at the start. So it's not a horrible card, not by any means. But I think 2 of the games I just rather played something else rather than put this on there. So that's just why it's a 2. Moving on to Magic's Crown. Magic's Crown is also a 2. 2-cost upgrade. Item, Magic gain steady. While the top card of your deck has a mental or wild resource icon, Magic gets +1 throw it. It is a mental resource. So this is a 2, mainly because, depending on who you're facing, honestly. Because steady, who I was facing Venom, who never gave you any status cards. So this was kind of not a very good card to put out on there, unless if I want to thin my deck. But it does give you a +1 thwart if you have these 2 recourses on top of your deck. So it would have been a dud card on the board, really. Because I don't think I ever actually thwarted with her. I thwarted more with Exorcism than anything else. So that's why it's a 2. May even honestly be a 1, just against Venom. But I'm going to keep it a 2 because against other villains, it may actually be decent. We're going to move over to Soul Sword. Soul Sword is getting a 3. 1-cost upgrade weapon. It's restricted. Magic's basic attack gains piercing. And then, just like the one before, it's strength and wild resource icon. Magic gets +1 attack. So, this is bumped up from a 3 because piercing is very good, especially against Venom because he comes in with tough on every stage. So you can basically get rid of that right away. That's why it's a 3 instead of 2. Now, and you get +1 attack depending on what card's on the top, just like the other one. It's just one of those cards. Ah, yeah. Go Poppy. Go Poppy. Yeah. Moving on to Mystical Armor. Mystical Armor, I put as a 3 as well. Basically, for the Retaliate, it's the same concept as the last 2 cards. It's an upgrade, and this one's an energy or a wild resource for a +1 defense. I don't really defend too much with Magic, except when I was in protection. But Retaliate 1, that's the frosting on this card, I believe. Just to be able to get hit and deal some damage back. That's why that's a 3. Moving on to Scrying. Scrying is also a 3. A 0-cost event. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw 1, discard 1, and put 1 back on top of your deck. It's another card to manipulate your hand, essentially. Which is why it's a 3. You can manipulate what's on top of the deck, what's in your hand, and what you don't want, essentially, because you have to discard 1. So that's why that's there. Yeah. Did they send you home for some reason? You be naughty? Were there other kiddos there? They went to the park. Alright, moving on to Stepping Disc. Stepping Disc, I put as a 4. Now, it's mainly a 4 because ready your hero. I love readying my hero when I can. 1-cost event. Hero action. Ready your hero. Choose a magic card in your discard pile not named Stepping Disc and put it on top of your deck. Energy resource. Now, this is also a 4 because it's any magic card. It doesn't say it's specific. So you can throw any card on top of your deck for the same turn or for Magic Berry for the next defense. Well, no, because then you don't have to draw. But regardless, you will get the next card you put on top of your desk. Plus, you get a ready up, so you get to attack, or whatever you'd want. I really like this card. I love playing it. Moving on to Exorcism. Exorcism is a 3. 2-cost event, spell thwart. Hero action, thwart, remove 4 threat from a scheme. If the top card of the deck has one of these, resource I can confuse the villain. So it's a 3 because it's removing 4 threat from a scheme. 2 for 4, I think, is pretty decent. Especially since her regular thwart is only a 3. Or her regular thwart is only a 1. So I think this is a good trade-off, 2 for 4. Plus, if you manage to have a mental or wild resource icon, you can confuse the villain. And you can manipulate that with Stepping Disc, or if you're flipping from Alter Ego, you can manipulate that so you can confuse the villain. Just like the other cards, you manipulate it to do stun and deal damage. Moving on to Soul Strike. Soul Strike is going to be a 3 as well. 2-cost event, attack spell, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If the top is a strength or wild resource, stun that enemy. Same concept as Exorcism. I'm not going to get too much into it. 4 damage is awesome. Stunning the enemy is also awesome. We're going to move into the last card, which is Magic Barrier, which is also going to be a 3 for the exact same reasons. When an enemy initiates attack, you can prevent 3 damage from that attack. That's awesome. 1 cost to prevent 3 damage. It is also nice to make sure you have an energy or a wild so you can deal that 3 damage essentially back. So yeah, that's why that's another 3. That is the last card in this deck. So overall, decent deck. Had a very good time playing with her. Can't wait to try her out against other villains to see if she's still good or if she's worse. We'll have to find out. But in the end, overall ranking is 8 out of 10. That is lower than what I have been putting in. Like Hulk was 8.5 last week, and some people disagreed with me on that. And that's fine. So I decided to kind of dig a little bit deeper and ranking them lower than what I would have. That makes sense. Trying to even the playing field a little bit. But other than that, thank you for watching this episode. I am trying to start streaming again on Twitch and YouTube. If you'd like, go over to twitch.tv/ZZ55 to subscribe and hopefully see me live more often. Sadly, it's going to be, for the States, it's going to be in the mornings because I'm in a completely different area. So my time's a little different. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Deuces.